watch this video, but at least they'll have it as an option. Okay. Okay, and then my area. To find my area, I'm going to do pi times my radius squared. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 5 squared. 3.14 times 5 squared, which is going to give me 78.5.
So the radius is always that. Like, how do you know?
Okay, so the radius goes from the center to the side of the circle. So let's look at one where they don't give me the radius. Okay, let's look at number 2. Number 2, if you'll notice, it goes all the way across the circle. So you need to look at your picture and be like, is that a radius or is that a diameter? In this one, they give you the diameter. The diameter of this is 14. So what would my radius be? If my diameter is 14, what would my radius be? 7. Okay, so my radius here is 7. So you're going to use your same formulas. You're going to do 2 pi times your radius. So 2 times 3.14 times my radius, which is 7. And then you're going to do, let's see, so 2 times 3.14 times 7, which gives me 43.96. And then you're going to do your area, pi times your radius squared. So 3.14 times 7 squared, which is going to give me 153.86. Questions? Circumference and area. Okay, number 3, we're looking at arc length and area. So formulas for that. So for arc length, it's the angle over 360 times, and it's your circumference formula, 2 pi r. So for this one, I would do 65 over 360 times 2 times 3.14 times my radius, which is 9. So 65 over 360 times 2 times 3.14 times 8. This gives me 9.07. Oh, sorry, it's supposed to be times 9. So 65 over 360 times 2 times 3.14 times 9, which gives you, is that right, 10.21? Is that what y'all got? So this one equals 10.21. Okay, now for area, you do the angle over 360 times pi r squared. So you're going to do 65 over 360 times 3.14 times 9 squared. Oops. $45.92. What should we got? $45.92. $45.92. Okay, now you're going to do that again. This time we're going to do length and area for the bottom one here. It has a radius of 10 and an angle measure of 100. So you're going to do 100 over 360 times 2 times pi times my radius 10 to find my length. which is going to give me 17.44. And then for area, I'm going to do 100 over 360 times 10 squared times pi. I reversed those numbers, but it's the same thing. 3.14 times 10 squared.
You go down just a tiny
Oh.
bit.
Yeah. So I'm going to do 100 over 360 times 10 squared times 3.14, which gives me 87.22. Any questions? Squared. So I divided my pizza up into 10 slices. I changed my diameter to a radius of 5. Now I know I'm going to use this formula because I'm looking for area. So the big question is, what do I need? I've got my radius, that's 5 squared. I know pi, that's 3.14. I need to know what my angle measure is. Well, how am I going to find that? Well, how many degrees is it all the way around the circle? 360. Since I have 10 slices, I'm going to take that 360 degrees and divide it by 10. So each of these sections is 36 degrees. That's going to be your angle measure, 36. So you're going to do 36 over 360 times 3.14 times 5 squared. That's going to give you the area of your slice of pizza. Which is going to give me 7.85. I haven't wrote it down yet. Hey, look at number 6. A 30 centimeter pendulum. So I've got something, and here's my pendulum, and it's swinging back and forth and back and forth. The pendulum's length is 30 centimeters. It rotates at a 45-degree angle, even though mine is like much more than a 45 that I just drew. How long is the arc? So when it asks me for how long something is, I'm looking at length. So I'm going to be using that formula, angle over 360 times 2 times pi times my radius. So our big question some of you need to answer here is 30 centimeters a radius or a diameter? It's a radius, okay? It's from the center to the side. So this is 30. So I know that. That's 30. I know my angle measure is 45. So I'm going to do 45 over 360 times 2 times 3.14 times 30. So you do 45.
What's 45?
45 is your angle measure right there. So I do 45 over 360 times 2 times 3.14 times 30. Which gives me 23.55. Okay, so look for your key points on these. Okay, look at number 7. Number 7 says, what is the missing value? So for these, I told you when we were reviewing these, you're looking at, is it a central angle or is it an inscribed angle? Is this central or inscribed? Central. Central angles equal their arcs. So if this is 75, then x is going to be 75. Okay. This one, central or inscribed? Central. So if this is 120, what's going to be the measure of y? 120. Central angles equal their arcs. Central angles equal their arcs. Number 9, central angle or inscribed? Inscribed. And we finally came up to the point that if you're looking for your arc, you're going to multiply. If you're looking for your angle, you're going to divide. Some of us were getting really confused with it, but if I'm looking for my arc, that's when I multiply by 2. If I'm looking for my angle, then I divide. You're looking for your arc, you multiply. You're looking for your angle, you divide. So what am I looking for this time? I'm looking for my arc, so I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to do 60 times 2, which is going to give me my arc measure is 120. Okay, and number 10, am I looking for my arc or my angle? I'm looking for my angle. When I'm looking for my angle, what am I going to do? Divide. So I'm going to do 280 divided by 2, which gives me 140. I mean, we had like a whole formula, like we wrote out the formula. It was the arc is equal to 2 times your angle, and the angle was equal to half of the arc. Like we had that formula, but y'all were getting so confused that I decided to just simplify it. If you're looking for your arc, you multiply. If you're looking for your angle, you divide. Mm-hmm. It's always by 2.
So your arc is like that way where the X is.
This is the arc for this one, from here to
What's
here.
the arc for 9?
For 9, oh, sorry. This is the arc for here, from here to here. The arc for this one is this right here. Okay, let's look at number 11. So first of all, X, what kind of angle is X? X is a central angle. So what would be the measure of X? 100. What kind of angle is Y? Inscribed. When I'm looking for my angle, what do I do? Divide. So if my arc is 100, what would be my angle? 50. Okay, so you got 2 rules here, okay, because you've got a central angle and you've got an inscribed angle. What? Because Y is an inscribed angle, the arc is 100, so you divide to find your angle measure. It's 50. Okay, looking at number 12. Okay, this is where it gets to be a little bit more difficult, okay? And you've got to use some thinking skills to get through it. Okay, up till this point, I really don't find any of those really hard that we've done. Okay, when you get to here, the last couple might be a little bit more difficult, and then I'm gonna put one up there that's extra credit. Okay, but for this one, you've got to figure out, even though they asked you for all of these angle measures, you have to know what all these arcs are to know what the angle measures are. So they tell you this one is 120. They don't tell me what this arc measure is, and they don't tell me what this arc measure is, but you need to look at this one. Do you see that this is that's a diameter, right? That's a diameter. It cuts a circle in half. So what would be the arc from here to here? 180. Okay, anytime you have a diameter like that, it cuts your circle in half, so you're going to have a 180-degree arc there. Okay, so now I've got the 180 and the 120. How do I find this missing arc over here? Yep. So I'm going to do my 360 minus my 120 minus my 180, or you could do your half over here and subtract. Either way will work. But you're going to find that your arc there is 60. So that's the first step. You've got to find all of those arc measures.
You did 360.
Uh-huh. Or you can just do, this is a half, so that's 180. 180 minus 120 will give you 62. You could do it either way. Okay, now we've got to find our arcs. So you're having a little bit of trouble with identifying them the other day. So I'm sorry, we got to find our angles. I went back. Okay, so here's my angle. I was trying to say we got to find out which arc goes with its angle. Okay, so here's my angle. Remember, the arc is between the two endpoints. So here's the endpoint and here's the endpoint. So the arc that corresponds with that is the 60, corresponds with the C. Okay, so let's find that. Okay, if I want to find an angle, do I multiply or divide? Divide. So if my arc is 60, what would be my angle? Yes, 60 divided by 2, which gives me 30. So that's C, sorry. Okay, now let's look at B. Okay, here's B. There's one of the lines. There's the other line right there. So there's my endpoint. There's my other endpoint. This is the arc that's between those two endpoints. Okay, that's 180 degrees. So B would be half of that. What's half of 180? 90. Okay, and then for my last one, I've got A over here. So here's the line for A, and here's the line for A. So my endpoints are here and here, which means this is my arc. The diameter would have like this center marked in it. If it doesn't have that, it's probably not a diameter. Okay, so to find A, I'm going to do 120 divided by 2, which is going to give me 60. Another important note, when you get done, what should these three add up to with what you've got right here? Okay, you've got a what? What is this a picture of right here? Yeah, this is a triangle, so it should add up to 180 degrees. Okay, if your angle measures, got them mixed up again. If your angle measures don't add up to 180 and you got a triangle here, then something's wrong. You need to go back and fix it. Okay, any questions on that one? Okay, look at number 13. Okay, in number 13, I have this. They tell me this angle is 60. So this is the arc.
May I have your attention, please? If your car is parked in the upper parking lot, please go move it now. We have a funeral at 1 o'clock and we need the parking lot empty. Please and thank you.
Okay, so this, I know, I'll get it. Okay. Then if this is 60, if this is 60, then what is X going to be? 120. I'm looking for my arc, so I multiply. So I do 60 times 2, which gives me 120. Okay, then you should notice that Y intersects the same arc. So if Y intersects the same arc, what's going to be true of these two angles? They're going to be the same. So Y is also going to be 60. Okay, now, if you didn't realize that, you should now know this is 120. So you do 120 divided by 2, which gives you 60 for that. Okay, take a second. I'm going to move my car. and see if you can figure out. These are,
Is 14 like 12 and 13?
no, these are just finding the angle measures. You should be able to do this one.